had that one. I know Brian DeMar said 2 Batter Skulls. I'm on the 2 Batter Skull side of that argument always. I had this argument in Standard with the Twin Blade deck about, like, I want to, like, Mike Jacob wanted the War and Peace, I wanted the second Batter Skull. It really just comes down to, like, second Batter Skull is really good if your opponent's beating you down and might kill your first Batter Skull. Or just, like, if your opponent's beating you down, you can just play Stoneforge, get a second Batter Skull. And sometimes just putting 2 Batter Skulls into play is more than anyone can handle.
Right.
Like, the body and mind just drawing it might not be that great, but, you know, Batter Skull's still a Baneslayer Angel.
Yeah, fair enough. So
Joe's deck, on the other hand.
Joe's deck is black-white, yeah, his style.
He does have Cabal Therapy. I don't know if that's typical for this archetype. I'm not the most familiar with black-white.
They usually play Cabal Therapy.
Okay. I usually try to stay away from that deck. I feel like it's too much of a... Well, it is a rock deck, but yeah.
Just draw the right cards at the right time kind of thing.
Your cards are a little bit more generic, but you aren't doing anything... Stoneforge Batter Skull definitely adds a different dimension, but most of the stuff the deck does is just like grinding your opponent out.
Right. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 him.
Yeah.
You know, figure out how to win.
Not like actively like doing something broken in this format, but that's probably just me and my, you know, I like to do broken things.
Right. For good reason. I mean, that's what Zvi always said, right? You want to do the most unfair thing possible in the format.
Exactly. Let's see. Joe has Elspeth again is probably coming out of the board here. Maybe another Therapy, probably a Jite, probably another Gate, maybe another Gatekeeper, I'm not sure. Possibly a Swords or Diabolic Edict. Not really that much out of the board, just he wants to keep his deck the way it is because these black-white grinder decks are just really good against the other fair decks.
Right. Yeah, you know, you may upgrade a couple pieces here and there, but other than that, probably bring in the Therapy and the Elspeth. I think that's it.
Looks like they're about to start here. Korey was on the play, just plays a Flooded Strand of Passes. Joe uses a Marshlands to fetch a Swamp. And I'm going to guess he's probably leading off on a Thoughtseize, but we'll see when he plays it. Yep, there we go.
The Thoughtseize. And that's... Alright, Korey's cards in hand. Jace the Mind Sculptor, Counterspell, Swords of Plowshares, Plains, Mishra's Factory.
Looks like he mulliganed as well here this game. They only count 6 cards.
Yep.
So, I think Joe probably wants to take that Jace here. It's the only thing that's really going to push through a late game. Like, Counterspell is good, but he doesn't even have the double blue for it.
Yeah, I was going to say he doesn't have double blue.
And the only reason you take anything else is he takes Swords so that he can resolve a Dark Confidant, which it looks like he's
Swords. He must have Dark Confidant in his hand, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe Mystic, but likely Confidant.
Well, Korey drew a Tundra for his turn, going to leave a Counterspell now. So...
Another Thoughtseize in Joe Bernal's hand.
Probably just going to get Counterspelled. Don't give your opponent the choice.
Korey Faye thinking about it.
I think either Jace is the way that you're going to win this game, so you have to protect it. I mean, even if you know he's going to take the Counterspell, it might just be better to Counterspell. You know, just don't give him the option. Like, he draws a new card, he's like, oh, I can't beat Jace, may as well, you know, take it.
Right. I mean, the 2 damage from Thoughtseize is unlikely to matter. So.
Especially with Jace as your win condition.
Right. Alright. Counterspell. 6th edition Counterspell.
6? Yeah, that one went back to like 5th, I think, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just know it from 6th.
So many options in Counterspell. You got the floating guy, you got the green dangly stuff guy, you got the really confused guy, the Mercadian Mask blue thing.
That's my favorite. I like the masked one.
So, Swords of Plowshares is getting extirpated here. And
Extirpate, huh?
Yeah. Korey reveals a Standstill. Do we miss a card? Oh, this is in draw step. There we go. That's why. That was his draw for the Standstill. That's a real good one here. He's just going to play the Standstill into a board of no action with a Mishra's Factory. And Joe's just going to have to make it into an Ancestral Recall.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want with Standstill. 2-mana Ancestral Recall.
Yeah, and that's the key. That's what's going to break this matchup for Korey is that, you know, all these hymns and stuff might be 2-for-1s, but this Standstill is a 3-for-1, and that's huge.
Right. 3-for-1 and will recoup his card advantage after getting his hand destroyed.
Yeah.
So Korey loses all of his swords. Why do you think he was board and extirpate in this matchup?
I don't know. Take out the card advantage engines. Don't let him have multiple standstills. It's also just, you know, you can use it with Cabal Therapies or Thoughtseizes to get a card. Like, they have the second copy. I'm not a big fan of Extirpate for value in general, but...
Yeah, I'm not huge on Extirpate either. just the general for value. But there might be a specific reason why he wanted it here. Maybe
Crucible? Could be Crucible recurring Mishra's Factory.
Could be Crucible. Could be just trying to feel like you could win if you get all their card advantage sources. I don't know.
Maybe he thinks that if he removes all the Swords to Plowshares, that Korey can't really interact with his creatures, which is true, but I don't think he needs to necessarily.
And
except for Dark Confidant. But.
There's the standstill. So, is Joe going to give him 3 cards?
This game might be longer than the other matches combined.
I think it's definitely already longer than one match, right?
Yeah. Looks like a Phyrexian Revoker is going to get played, and that was the Jace answer he was looking for.
Korey picks up 3 cards.
Yep.
And probably just going to name Jace.
Yep, and that resolves. Korey has to find a new game plan now, probably Stoneforge Mystic Batterskull, I would guess.
Yeah, that says Jace, pretty sure.
Yeah.
See that piece of paper?
He does have another standstill, though, so that's going to be very helpful.
Man. Yeah, and Joe Bernal can't attack through that Mishra's Factory.
No, he cannot. Oh, wow. So that's Stoneforge and, ooh, this is...
Stoneforge for Batterskull, play Standstill.
This is...
Oh, my.
Very, very far behind for Joe at this point. Unless this Dark Confidant starts getting back into the game.
Alright, let's see. And down comes Standstill for Korey Fay.
Yep. Suddenly Korey goes from being, down cards, mulligan, to way ahead.
And let's see.
Joe's gonna crack his Marsh Flats.
Alright. Down comes Scrubland.
Yep.
Alright. Now, what does Joe have in his hands? I mean, the Standstill's getting correct.
I saw that one.
Alright. Well, that's a good one to plop down here.
Yeah. He couldn't play last turn because otherwise Jace would just come down and start wrecking him like Jace usually does. But.
Yeah. Yeah, Jace is brutal against these kind of decks.
It really is. That was an upkeep fetch. It looks like he drew a Bitter Blossom. Is a Batterskull as his last card, I think?
Batterskull is his last card, yeah. Well, if he's got Confidant, I think you play that one.
He might not have had Confidant. I might have misread it as a Bitter... No, that looks like a Confidant as his last card.
I like playing Confidant over Bitter Blossom here, if that's Confidant he's saying.
You need to get back into the game that way. It might be Bitter Blossom, though, just because you want creatures. I think Joe just has to get to his Batterskull, but I don't know if that's going to be able to happen at this point. Especially because this Stoneforge Mystic untaps.
Yeah.
It's on Summoning Stick, I guess.
Yeah. Untapped with the Stoneforge Mystic. It feels like without getting the card advantage, it's going to be really hard to win.
Yeah, Korey has a huge grip of cards. Counterspell, it looks like. Mishra's Factory. Second Mishra's Factory just hit play.
I mean, how are you going to beat 2 3-for-1s in a row, you know?
You aren't. Not in that deck. 3, you mean? 3
3-for-1s.
Yeah. That's very bad for the black-white deck.
Absolutely vicious. And Bitter Blossom is normally pretty good at under Standstill, but Stoneforge Mystic with Batterskull knocks that right out of the park.
Yeah. Especially when he also has 2 Mishra's Factories. There's just not really a way that he can... He has to crack the Standstill in order to win.
Yep. Dark Confidant comes down. Korey Fay draws 3 new cards.
It's 3 3-for-1s in a row now.
Yeah, and now, how many cards is that in his hand? Does he have 10 cards?
I think so.
I think he had 7 at the end of the last turn.
Yeah. He's going to have to use some of those. It's a rough life. Usually when my opponent has 10 cards in their hand from a standstill, it's on their end step because you like brainstorm then. But
right.
I don't think the black-white deck really has that ability to do that. It's got like an Edict and some swords, but that's about it.
And there's a Batterskull.
Yep. Korey's trying to figure out which cards he no longer wants or which cards he wants to put into play. Batterskull gets in and just gains 4 life. Bitter Blossom does do that, though. It does, in fact, let him just sit there and turn the Batterskull from basically a 4-power guy to a 1-power guy.
Yeah, the problem is that Joe's not going to be able to win that way. Like, Korey will be able to win the long game if, Joe is just throwing force field mode, basically, on Batterskull.
Possibly. It's also very possible that, I guess Joe is a GT. He could actually have the long game trump if this Revoker stays in play, which it might because there's no onboard answers for that in Korey's main deck.
I mean,
He's got 2 sideboard Wrath of Gods, but that's it.
Feels like Joe is just more, or sorry, Corey's more likely to find a Jace eventually, though, and then just lock them out.
Well, but the Revoker's on Jace, though.
Yeah. He has no way to deal with it. That's right.
He has 2 Wrath of Gods. If he brought in the Sword of Fire and Ice, or like the Body and Mind could force more chump blocks, the Manriki Kusari could prevent Joe from going all the way through. Corey's probably favored in fighting Elspeth first. Yeah, probably just have to counter that Stoneforge. Yep.
Yeah, counterspell and Stoneforge.
I don't know. Dark Confidant might be there though. You might have to not lose to his own Dark Confidant too. That might be a problem.
Yeah, you gotta be careful there. I mean, Joe's overall mana curve is pretty low.
I think it actually might be time to start serving with some Mishra's Factory.
Yeah, that actually seems pretty reasonable. If you serve with one factory, it's a 3/3, so it'd have to trade with,
I would serve with both. I'm fine with trading either factory for either of his creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, either Jace gets. Oh wow, now it's time to serve with factories for sure. That's a 3rd factory in play right now.
Third factory?
Yeah.
Yeah, so serve with 2 and then be able to pump 1 if necessary.
Yeah, this is quickly reversing roles, I would say. The blue-white control deck's now the beatdown, and the black-white, aggro deck is now the control.
So he just serves with a lone Mishra's Factory.
Yeah, probably wants his mana not tied up. Probably wants to hard cast some spells. Bitter Blossom gets pinned to the Batterskull. Mishra's Factory becomes 4 damage.
Take 4.
Yep.
So
Corey Fay goes up to 27, I believe.
It's like a ground colonnade. Yeah, I believe so too.
Yep. It's, yeah. Build your own colonnade.
Man. Alright, flips over Gatekeeper Malik here.
Joe Bernal taking a lot of damage.
Alright, so the Vendilion Click from Corey
Joe
Fay.
Bernal's at 8 now, I think, and Vendilion Click reveals Revoker, Batterskull, Gatekeeper. And I think you ship the Batterskull here.
Yeah, I agree, because the Batterskull, if hard cast, can actually the life gain is really relevant.
Yeah, the life gain's huge here.
Yeah, it just ships the Batterskull.
Yeah.
See if Joe just draws Stoneforge anyway. But.
I don't actually think there's anything that Joe could draw that's more threatening than a Batterskull. Maybe a Jite, that's the only thing. Vindicate would be pretty solid. But, that Batterskull on its own is a threat. It's not like it's not going to do anything.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Gatekeeper's gonna probably bin that Stoneforge.
Yeah, Stoneforge.
Or the Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click's not really impressive right now. Stoneforge at least does some Batterskull tricks, but
Bitter Blossom tokens.
Yeah, they're just gonna trade for the click.
That's fair enough. So here comes
after Gatekeeper. Let's see. I don't really know.
What do you think your game plan is? If you're Joe Bernal, like what game plan are you trying to play here?
Jite. That's your route. Get Jite.
You have to find Stoneforge, Mystic, or Jite. That's
yes.
all you can do.
Well, Elspeth might be able to do it. Let's see. Even if he vindicates, Corey still has all of these factories.
Yeah, the 3 factories are brutal right now for Corey Fay. He played that Gatekeeper, which I guess gives him a little bit of extra ammo for blocking, but...
Kitchen Finks gives him a lot of time if he draws it. The cards that he wants are Jite, Batterskull, and Elspeth. That's how he's going to kill. That's how he's going to kill Corey.
And of course, Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, because that gets most of those.
Blocks. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, and even out of the board, there's a second Jite, but in second Elspeth, those are the cards that he's going to use to win the game here.
Do you think he would have brought in a second Jite?
Possibly. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think Jite is traditionally that good in this matchup.
Yeah, it might not be.
All right, so figuring out some combat. Joe Bernal sitting at 3.
Legacy Open players, that is time in the round.
Alright, that's time. These players might have a slight time extension because we had to move them onto the table.
That is true. But I think regardless that Korey should be able to finish this up in time. Especially if he starts turning all of his factory sideways once Joe reaches 2.
Yeah, I think these players should be fine.
Yeah.
That Bitter Blossom will keep shrinking Joe's life total. Dark Confidant could be lethal. Yeah, this is looking not good for Joe Bernal.
Yeah, it's this Bitter Blossom Dark Confidant thing. He didn't find the GT fast enough to start regaining the life he's losing.
Looks like there's some kind of debate with the judge going on
Yeah.
as to what exactly is happening.
Maybe a missed Dark Confidant flip.
It's possible there was a missed Dark Confidant flip. Or just a miscommunication or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the issue could be. We'll find out shortly.
Yeah. We'll probably get a report from the floor pretty soon. Maybe some miscommunication over what creatures blocked what. You know, whether there's a Bitter Blossom token that's not really necessarily the clearest.
Yeah. I mean, when your Bitter Blossom tokens are MLB cards, like, you gotta understand, or whatever that is. Looks like a baseball player. Maybe it's actually just MC Hammer. I'm not sure.
This is could just be MC Hammer.
I mean, seriously, like, I can't tell. It's either a baseball player or MC Hammer, one of the two.
Yeah?
They're very close. All right.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so Bitter Blossom tokens goes away. Mark some life total changes. And Korey's hand looks stocked, too. I saw a lot of blue cards there.
That's always a good
All
sign.
right, flip Dark Confidant, and that's it. Dark
dead.
Confidant, Bitter Blossom. That's 3 life.
Okay, well,
Korey Fate takes it down.
there you go.
We saw 3 matches in 1 round. That's crazy.
Yeah, 4 games, 3 matches. Went all the way from the start to time.
Huh. Good
And
times.
we had the full spectrum. We had combo, we had whatever Stacks is. It's not combo control. We had the aggro control New Horizons deck. We had this sort of combo control Thopter deck. We had the pure control deck that Korey Fate was playing. And then Joe Bernal's kind of, you know, generic black-white, for lack of a better term, fair deck.
Yeah, dead guy deck almost,
Yeah,
right?
dead guy.
Like, that shows you the